We recording?
Yeah.
All right. Trying not to disturb Fort Liquor here as we pour our first drink, eh?
Yep.
Spent a lot of time arranging it, if you guys can't tell.
My fucking OCD took on a new form because of this.
All right. All right, cheers, man.
Cheers.
Afternoon and welcome once again to Gaming Under the Influence. I'm Mike, and I'm here with Alex, coming to you from Green Dragon CVR, Vaughn's local source for craft beer and video games.
Welcome.
We're here today to talk to you about the fucking industry and all of the crazy, kooky characters that inhabit it. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing okay, man. How about you?
I'm okay, too. I'm pretty good. I'm
Fucking A.
happily situated once again behind Fort Liquor.
Fort Liquor. It's our new favorite pastimes.
Yeah. Always look forward to these.
Passing out behind Fort Liquor.
These drinking sessions, yeah.
Yeah.
I also appreciate the conversational turn our podcasts have taken of late, you know?
I think it's great.
Become a pleasant fucking opportunity to work out all of these issues that fucking we're thinking about related to video games, and I hope some other people are too.
At least a few. Would be nice to maybe hear from a couple people who are like, yeah, listen to it for like 30 seconds and it was all right.
That's
like,
right.
Thank you.
What has been on your docket this week? What are you playing, Alex?
Shit. I've been kind of a black hole. I actually played a little bit of Red Dead, continuing on the prologue. Sorry, not the prologue, the epilogue. I made it to part 2. As fucking John Marston, you take out a loan to buy a house. That's like a piece of shit. It's a little shack on a farm, right? And that's supposed to be like the turning point for John Marston, where he becomes a homeowner and a rancher, and he doesn't know shit about that stuff because all he knows how to do is kill people. So it's fucking weird.
John Marston becomes domestic.
Yeah, basically. And this is like after Abigail leaves him, takes Jack, and fucks off because he was going back to his old ways. So this is his like redemption, right? This was his Red Dead redemption.
How do you like that?
It's okay. It starts picking up because you start to run into some of the old characters, and I'm curious to see where it goes from there. And I'm hoping to tie it, together soon. I don't play it often because I'm kind of burnt out on it, right? Like, it's a fucking long game.
Yeah, I
but
feel you.
But yeah, it'll be cool to see how part 2, which is the final part of the epilogue, how it all ends, and what Mika's fate is, which I'm fairly confident I know how that goes. But
Fairly confident you're going to blow his fucking teeth out of his head.
something like that, yeah. And I could be wrong. I actually don't know, but like, if I had to guess, that would be it.
Would be a fine outcome for that character, no doubt.
Definitely. What about you, man?
I'm still hacking away at Hellpoint and Ghost of Tsushima, man.
Yeah, I was playing a little bit of Ghost of Tsushima, but not too much in the last couple of days, to be honest. I've been scattering my playtime through some Final Fantasy 15 a bit. I can't remember what else.
That's good. I remember you mentioning you installed 15 on your PC.
Yeah. That's been fun. Yeah. It's been fun to sort of jump in and just do a few things, and then I'm trying to. I think I mentioned this in one of the last ones, but I'm trying to play it differently than obviously the first time I did in terms of the way the XP works, right? I'm trying to like hang on as much as I can until the game basically like forces you to cash in all your XP and just bump.
Probably got like 50 levels at once.
Yeah, like it obviously gets hard to play because feels like you're always playing like slightly under leveled, right?
Yeah,
but
sure. I guess you are technically.
Yeah, but then it pays off after. It's sick.
Very
or
cool.
like later on in the game, I'll use the inns that give you like 3 times XP or whatever the hell. I know there's different options.
The nice ones
there.
in the Ocean City there.
Yeah, can't remember what it's called, but that'll be cool. Yeah,
well, very nice.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I've been enjoying Hellpoint a lot. It's fucking got a lot of secrets, a lot of stuff to see. I love that fucking feeling of playing a Souls, like that sense of wonder where you're like fucking walking around like almost like a diorama, and like you get to one point and you look somewhere and you're like, wait a fucking minute, is that where I started the game? And you can like literally see the path that you walked, and everything is like, there's no like, it's not like walking through a fucking movie set where you can kick over the wall and there would be no building behind it, right? It definitely feels like
feels interconnected, right?
Yeah.
It's intense. They do it fucking,
Souls like, yeah. I mentioned this before about the genre, but it always seems like the people who fucking participate in making art in that genre are ones with like a concept about a world or a fucking mythology to express, and it's suitable for that purpose,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
It gives you like this opportunity to build like you got like this diorama of the fucking world in your mind, and to let the player explore it like via this breadcrumb trail at your promptings, like that are mysterious and stuff, right? And I really like the art. Fuck, it's so cool, man. It's such a fun game.
That's an interesting way of putting it. It makes sense, like the sort of the bread crumb trail. It reminds me of in Bloodborne. Like, remember the first level? Just in what is it, Yarnum or whatever the hell it's called?
Yeah, it's like a level. It's like a fucking skill check. That fucking.
Yeah, honestly, it took me like 6 hours to get through that the first time I played. But it's just like a straight line, that one road with a couple little deviations, but nothing crazy. And it's literally like you need to get through this before you can start playing this game. And it's fucking.
I think that's like a fucking
cool
intro to Soulsborne game design. That fucking
yeah, right.
That tunnel there.
Holy shit.
Had the looping fucking, the shortcut at the back once you get all the way around, right? There's a boss run once you fucking did that. Here's the shortcut back to the boss. Here's where you run to farm, etc. Yeah, it's like a little microcosm of the Souls games.
It's nuts.
Yeah. I love Bloodborne.
Yeah, Bloodborne's fantastic. I thought about booting it up a couple of days ago too. Yeah, just right.
Fuck, so much to play, man. What the fuck am I doing? I'm gonna play Bloodborne again.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's exactly what popped in my head. I was like, this game is like
fucking 60
think of all the games
probably.
that have come out since then, and we're.
Yeah, I know. I do that every night. I turn on fucking Now. I go on my PC. I go on the stupid Game Pass there, and I dick around on like this or that a little bit. But then I'm like, fuck, man, I gotta fucking just finish something. Like,
I get the same way because even problem with it is you're paying for it, right? And you're like want to exploit it as much as possible, but like you also don't just want to play something just to be playing it because you fucking pay for the service. That's the part of the service that pisses me.
Yeah.
Like, you buy a game, it's paid off. It's like a car. Like, it's there. It's always there.
I feel like it just feeds my like curiosity, though. I just feel like fucking like when you go on Netflix and instead of actually watching something, you just fucking browse for like 2 hours.
For 3 hours. Wow.
I got
there goes 2 hours. I guess I gotta go now.
Yeah. I don't want to play. I just want to look at what there is to play. Like, fuck.
I do the same thing. Well, you gotta think because I've been fucking playing like a lot on PC for a while now. I've had Steam. I've had fucking Origin.
Yeah, I'm sure it's exactly
this Xbox Game Pass now. And even though you don't have access to everything, I still look at the stores all the time. And I'm like, I don't buy something. Maybe something cheap or whatever. Something just to, and then you never end up doing it, or I don't, because I feel like, again, not buying something just to buy it, right? Yeah. Or play just to play it. It's tough. Find something that really grabs you, every fucking time.
It is. It's rare for me to find something that I play even the games that I love the most. I never play them one shot.
I noticed.
All the way through. Never.
Sekiro and shit.
Fuck that. Yeah. I wear out, and then it's like, what the fuck's the point of doing this? It's just work,
Yeah.
And your like scholarly fucking perspective is already satisfied because you've seen everything there is to see. It's like, what's left then? Just gotta wait till it comes back to you.
Yeah.
It's calling to you, and you're like, yeah, okay, I'm ready.
I feel like that with Ni no Kuni right now. I want to play it again.
Yeah, I really like Hellpoint. I think everybody should check out that game, man. It's sick. It's a good fucking example of Soulsborne game design, and there's so much fucking stuff to it. There's so much baked in there. It's epic.
That's sick. I do want to give it a shot at some point.
Mortal Shell by this time next week.
Yes.
That'll be pretty exciting too.
Yeah, that's actually 7 days away.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
if you want, we can talk a little bit about the fucking state of play that transpired on August 6th.
Oh yeah, that's right. The one that we totally missed and caught up with it afterwards.
I mean, it's not like of the caliber of events, the ones we typically cover like immediately. We don't.
Yeah, they pretty much said from the get-go, they're like, don't expect any PS5 announcements or news. There's not going to be anything like that. They showed some games that are on the PS5, but nothing like, mind-blowing or new.
I feel the same
in that
way.
sense.
Yeah, we had, I guess, initially what stuck out to me that was fucking pretty, like what I wasn't expecting was to be excited about the new Crash Bandicoot. I don't know about you, man.
I didn't even fucking realize they were making one. The crazy thing is, there's actually a lot of games on this list, which...
There is a fair number of games, yeah. It's just that... Well, anyways, we can get to that, but... Yeah, we can start with talking about Crash Bandicoot because to me... Oh, or the Pathless. This is the one you were...
The Pathless. This is the one that stuck out to me. It looks fucking... Looks like some kind of evolution of Journey. It looks a little bit...
Like an experimental project.
Yeah, a little bit more... definitely experimental and fast-paced. Maybe a little bit more of like... I don't know. I hate to say like, gameplay and like things to do because, I don't mean to like... I enjoyed Journey and I feel like it's a good thing on its own, but this seems a little bit more involved than that. But it also seems very similar. You're sort of surfing around, right? I don't know, I guess shooting those targets. I'm not quite sure what to make.
Gravity Rush a little, eh?
Yeah, Gravity Rush too, maybe.
It does look pretty fucking sick, though. It
But
looks
yeah.
like, in the same vein of its Journey, something experimental and not combat-focused with a traditional loop. And
Yeah, it definitely looks different.
it's always nice to see those kind of projects. I'm not really sure what to make of it. Like, I'm not sure exactly what...
Yeah, that's another thing, right? It kind of just left you wondering, like, what the heck is it? See, there's like these monsters. They look like dinosaurs. Pretty fucking badass looking shit. It's all... Oh, maybe it's like a stealth game.
Got Horizon segments here, right?
Yeah,
This does look
right?
interesting. I'm just not sure what to make of the concept
Yeah,
at this point, right?
I'm not either, but out of all the stuff they showed, the Pathless definitely looks like...
Yeah, that was the most
One of the more
eye-catching
intriguing,
project,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, something novel and interesting.
Sick, dude. And then I guess you actually pointed me out to the whole Crash Bandicoot 4 thing.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by like fucking
shit.
their approach to this new Crash Bandicoot game. I guess I kind of like Activision these days. I must say, buddy. I know that's like fucking it's neckbeard heresy, in the YouTube world.
I have no problem with Activision anymore.
I just shaved my neckbeard, so
Oh, nice, perfect, good timing.
yeah, fucking. I've been enjoying Activision since
Years and years ago, buddy.
Oh yeah. Since Sekiro, anyways, I thought that like that one was pretty awesome, and the single player campaign for COD was also impressive to me. So, I mean, that they would fucking
Oh, you mean like recently?
Yeah.
I was talking about like
not recently, like
going all the way
I
back.
didn't enjoy any of their games for a long time.
No?
Yeah, like before Sekiro, what did they make that was good for years?
Oh god, I don't know.
Even one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they were pretty shit for a long time.
Yeah. If I think about it,
Damn.
right, not like any of the COD campaigns were
Yeah, like
interesting.
I think
Some of them didn't even
last-
have campaigns.
Yeah,
like,
last gen was pretty much, unless you like Call of Duty, Activision's like pretty.
yeah,
right?
yeah. But since Sekiro, I've enjoyed fucking their major releases, anyways. Even though, of course, I'm aware of what's going on in the, the battle royale and fucking microtransaction space. Like my fucking position on that is always that those practices should fund good games, and if they do that, then I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we've fucking probably talked this to death, but it almost seems like those things are very distinctly different, and they cater to different consumers, like different
Yeah, they do, yeah.
forms of gamers, right? If you will, I don't know, for lack of better fucking words, but it almost seems like they've accepted that there's room for both of these things.
I think
right?
so, yeah.
And like you said, one
don't need to
can
do this-
fund the other.
Yeah.
Which is also a big money maker. Like Call of Duty sells a ton, and it has a campaign.
To be
and
clear, like I'm not saying
Sekiro-
like Bobby Kotick is sitting there saying like I've realized I love art.
Oh yeah, no.
I just mean to say like operatively, like
We're not
fucking
idiots,
at the
but-
realm of exercised fucking at the realm of action, like at the level of fucking what people are actually doing. Like if that is the way that things are, then I really don't give a shit about anything else, right? I think
I can live with
even from the perspective of the businessman, even though it's not his primary, like it's not his modus operandi, like part of fucking functioning in that role is maintaining a respectable portfolio, man.
Right.
You can't do that when you have products like fucking Anthem fucking
oh god.
embarrassing you and fucking losing you
Fallout
money,
76.
right? You can't do that when you have fucking Disney calling you because you're destroying Star Wars licenses, right? Like that's just doesn't work out. So
No.
it's in everybody's interest, the people who want to make money and people like us who want to play good games,
Right.
for fucking people to just make good games, even if they have to make some shit in the meantime. Like to me, that's not even a game. I don't give a fuck about that. That's like going
Yeah.
to work. That's like going to work at a car wash. Like okay, it has to happen. It's not glorious,
Destroying
but
spreadsheets, man. Just
fuck it. It's a thing.
fucking-
Okay. I can't stand that like fucking moralizing attitude that people take towards things like microtransactions. Like, think of the children. Like, you fucking take care of your children, you stupid bitch. Like, are you fucking joking?
That's it. We're
The
off
government
rails
needs to
now.
protect me from EA. Like, what the fuck is wrong
You
with your
gotta put
head?
laws
You know?
in place, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, I don't like them either, but let's be honest here.
I don't like them when they break art.
Yeah.
That is literally all I care about. What, you don't like them in what sense? That people shouldn't? Whoa. I thought you were American, you know?
I thought this was.
I thought this was America. You're saying what is or is not bad for people to spend their money on? What the fuck? Where'd you come from now? I don't know. That whole, like, that's all murky waters. It's all fucking bunged up.
Yeah,
and,
it's best to leave that alone.
I think, like, though, what we do know now, maybe this would be an interesting time to bring this up. I know it's fucking tangential and we're talking about this PS thing, but like this week there was that fucking layman video. I think it was actually on the 6th of August. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
But there was a layman video, where
Yeah.
they were like, yeah, man, we're getting out of the fucking news business. Like, the way it works is you got to feed the algorithm, make a new video all the time, but then you got to latch onto this negative news and blow it out of proportion and just talk out your ass about it. And man, nasty, boy, is that ever a description of all of this stuff with the microtransaction issue, you know? A bunch of fucking seedy bastards on the internet like wanting to make fucking ad dollars off their YouTube videos, so they got to fucking go and find some fucking stupid shit and make it seem like, buddy, EA is fucking you in the ass specifically. Like,
they're attacking you. This is bad.
Yeah.
I never do that. As you can tell, we don't have any viewers, so...
Yeah. Plus, fuck, I don't give a shit. Just to say, like, when it comes to these kind of games, and when it comes to Activision, like, the preferable position, I suppose, is to fucking, you know, acknowledge that a company needs to fucking make money. Like, it exists for fucking indefinite growth. That's its purpose, you know? That's why people fucking buy stocks in it, to get a return on their investment. Like, you can't fucking expect there to be AAA games at all and not accommodate that reality. I don't like it anymore. Like, I'm not sitting here even trying to defend like fucking free market capitalism or any such thing, because I don't fucking believe in that any more than Marxism, you know?
Right.
But it is the fucking concrete physical reality.
Wow.
So your choices are, you want to make fucking games that are awesome and take advantage of fucking millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Then you got to fucking feed the beast, man. But you don't have to feed it your game, you know? That's all. Make another fucking game. Make your money farm. Like, make your fucking... That's all I've tried to say, right? Like, and in that respect, Activision's fucking sick lately. You know, they're turning a profit. They're doing great now. Lately, I heard there was an investor call. All I know is the shares I own in the company fucking went up in value even more recently.
Nice.
And so that's fucking, you know, after they've made better games than they've made in fucking a 10-year period, right? So it's
true.
Just
if you look at it that way, there's a clear distinction there, right?
So I don't give a fuck what you do, but if you make good games, then I'm happy with that, right? Like, even if you just make one Sekiro per generation, like, man, that's cool. You know?
Sekiro's sick.
Give Miyazaki his money.
He deserves it. If anybody deserves it, he deserves it, and probably Hideo. But anyway,
yeah, love those guys.
So fucking Crash Bandicoot 4. What have you got on that one?
Yeah, that's so. You know, framing our fucking approach to Crash with this view of Activision, I guess that's why we're talking about this at all. Like,
yeah, totally off the rails.
I guess it's fucking in keeping with, you know, Activision's, like, I guess, what are we gonna call this fucking new approach? You know, we're gonna fucking call it that, like, they recognize there's two fucking streams of video game products, at least, but like, at least for our purposes, we can recognize two. Fucking games proper for playing, and fucking money games, you know?
We're talking about Sony now, or
we're talking about Activision still. This approach to Crash, yeah. Because now we're going to talk about Crash.
Oh, because like, they actually are publishing
Crash,
this game. Yeah, that's right. Are they developing it too, or there's got to be another developer?
I don't know who the fuck's developing it, but
it doesn't matter.
It's under their auspices, you know? So I think, though, like, I'm trying to say, like, all this shit, all these considerations about Activision, Sekiro, and video game money farms, video games as good games, like, now we're fucking coming to Crash, and we ask ourselves, of course, like, what fucking kind of game is this?
Where's this going to be? Yeah, like, where's this going to
what is it?
In those plans?
But it looks like, it looks pretty cool. It looks like, I liked fucking a number of the things that I heard in this fucking video, actually. Like, for one, you know, we talk all the time about how, like, you're gonna make a fucking product in somebody else's universe. You should fucking use that as a pigment in your own new painting. It shouldn't be that you're
making your own, right? Yeah.
And these guys were like, yeah, we wanted to make a new Crash game. Like, we grew up playing Crash games, and we fucking love Crash games. We also love, like, the Saturday morning cartoons they were inspired by. So this game is gonna include, like, I was like, fucking, that's a sick ass way to approach this shit. You know, you're not just like, we're gonna make a Halo, you know, Phil, fucking, which one is it again, Phil? You know, with the X, you know, the evil enemy, the X, with their plans to use the Halo to, right?
Yeah, like, that one.
Yeah. Just to say, like, you know, you're incorporating fucking inspirations beyond the fucking subject matter that you took from somebody else, and the chances are that
put your own spin on it, right? Add a little bit of your own DNA into there, inject it.
Yeah, and it looks like that approach runs throughout at least the kind of stuff that we've seen. We saw all kinds of weird and crazy fucking worlds that were uncharacteristic to Crash Bandicoot games before, and you saw this like ability to like replay the game but underwater or some shit like that in New Game Plus.
There was all kinds of different they had some weird like filters and shit you could apply different things. I wasn't too clear on how many there were or what all of them did or whatever, but there's also they talked about all different kinds of like skins, like actual costumes.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And
they mentioned specifically they're not MTX, right?
That's right. Yeah. Like, and they all are unlocked by doing challenges in the game, and
it's what I mean to say.
So funny to hear something like that.
Things like that, it makes me feel like Activision is regarding this more as like a fucking prestige product and not as like a a throwaway kind of thing, right? Like, and isn't it the case that you can play their battle royale for free? without buying into Call of Duty.
Do they even have one? Which one is theirs?
Yeah, the fucking Warzone or whatever. You know, the COD Battle Royale.
Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought they gave that shit out for free, the mode there, right?
Yes, so I believe you can play Warzone for free even if you don't buy Call of Duty.
So, I mean, like, this seems to be...
It's like they learned the fucking distinction, right? Like they're seeing it themselves and saying, hey, we can feed this and make money both ways, but more on this side to compensate that. You know what I mean?
I think
like,
so. Honestly, bro, like if we went back in time a year, neither of us even thought about this at all. But I think it was games like Sekiro, companies like Activision that made us start to formulate these ideas.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Yeah. Specifically Sekiro was the episode,
I
right?
have to say, probably would have been around the Sekiro time when we really started to articulate that.
It would have been that time, yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
And it's fucking funny because we saw
it was
like...
Activision. Remember the first announcement?
Yeah.
As soon as we saw that, we're like, Activision. That like threw us for fucking months. We were like, what?
Miyazaki, what are you doing?
Hell yeah, right? That could have gone a fucking... could have gone what he was doing. Deeper, fucking darker, dangerous path, but...
It's good.
Worked out.
It worked out well. So I guess if they're making fucking Crash Bandicoot with that attitude in mind, and you know they're approaching it as some fucking like again, like I they want it to be like a jewel in their portfolio, not some fucking shit that they don't mention to people at dinner because it's kind of embarrassing, right? Like, that's imagine awesome. You want to fucking meet some big investor, you know? It's like, hey Bobby, what kind of products you got there at Activision? It's like, oh, you know, I got my fucking. What should I mention here? Should I mention my fucking Call of Duty Warzone? Should I mention any of those aberrant fucking nonsense shithole games from the... Oh, I know what I'll mention. That fucking one that won Game of the Year. that famous guy directed, right?
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
That's important, yeah. In those, I mean, just, you know, that's important for so many different reasons. We need to describe,
so, right?
Yeah. I bet you their stock did well that day too, right? Like... Well, I guess I'm trying to say fucking I trust Bobby and his silly haircut at this stage.
How fucking weird is it?
I never thought I would
saying that, right? But it's true. Like, it looks fucking.
It looks
Crash
cool.
Bandicoot 4 looks like it'll turn out all right.
Yeah, it looks like what I would want from a game of that fucking
caliber,
category in 2020, right?
Almost like a Ratchet and Clank, you know? Really like something.
Yeah.
Like
shit, if you fucking follow in Insomniac's shoes, who followed in Crass's shoes, who fucking, you know, that would be pretty cool. That would be like Zelda fucking incorporating Souls-like elements, eh? It's so fucking cool how like the cycle of iteration fucking turns, you know?
Fucking strange times, man. The video game industry, damn.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to mention from that showcase?
We could like list off some of these games. I don't know if many of them are worth
Hitman
into.
VR, like
Hitman
I don't know. Braid was a pretty cool game though when it did come out.
Right. This is
just
probably like the 9th fucking re-release of it, so like that's all right if you haven't played
Spelunky,
it. Spelunky 2, Anno Mutate. I don't know
what that is.
This one looked alright. Genshin
It's like a Chinese MMO, I think.
Oh, okay, never
Adriana
mind.
said the same thing to me today. She's like, I saw this fucking game.
Aesthetically, it looked good.
It does. It looks like a Ni no Kuni game. Yeah,
but I didn't know what it was.
Or
Bug
Zelda.
Snacks, okay. Aeon Must Die, I'm not even sure what that one was.
I don't fucking know.
Vader Immortal, a Star Wars series.
VR game.
VR. Okay. We can't afford VR.
My mind can't afford to waste itself on VR.
That's right. Yeah. Auto chess? What the fuck is auto chess? Control
AWE expansion.
This was cool. Yeah,
I did have a couple of things to say about this, you know?
All right.
I talk a lot fucking on this podcast and in the fucking writing associated with our project here about this concept of like the fucking inner logic of a game or its universe, you know? Like fucking the part of its concept that makes it what it is. Like its individual fucking, not like, you know, this character in the game nor per se the place it takes place in, but like the universe, like the categories of things in the world, like what's possible in it, like fucking what's real, that kind of shit, right? And I talk a lot about how this should like fucking organize the various parts of a game into a cohesive whole, but like what's interesting about the announcement of this Control AWE expansion, you know, and something that we've fucking seen in other mediums is just fucking to effect that I would not appreciate personally, like with Marvel movies and stuff like that. Like the idea that like your concept can inform fucking not only the variegated parts of the game, but multiple fucking individual works, right? Like it reminded me of this this interview with Harvey Smith, one of the fucking guys who made Dishonored, which is it's a great game, and Harvey Smith's a smart guy, worked on the story and shit, and he says like part of making a fucking great game is making a world that's bigger than what the player can ever possibly experience in their playthrough, more than you can ever actually look at with the camera, right? Like
that's interesting,
and I think it speaks to the strength of a fucking artistic conception and of a video game specifically, where a universe is an important component of that you know, it can inform multiple fucking individual works, and even more to the strength of the fucking concept that like you can fit one of your works inside of the other. Like it's more like a fucking metaphysical scheme, and all of these like individual events are kind of just happening in the same universe, right? Like, and your concept is about that fucking bigger picture. That's the sense I get when I hear this shit, right?
Essentially, this is Alan Wake and Control in like this expansion. So
yeah, it's like an overlap. I should have said that at the fucking beginning. This expansion is like like the overlap of Alan Wake and Control.
So
you know,
this is what though, like a DLC for
it is
Control.
A DLC. Yeah. Now we did find out in the original Control though that Alan Wake. Remember, I told you there's like that case file in the bureau you find in the fucking panopticon there, where there's like a fucking case file that tells you about Alan Wake and the fucking object of power that was involved in his whole. So this is about that fucking.
This was already known that Control and Alan Wake shared the same universe. Yeah, but now it's becoming part of this DLC, an actual.
They're making a crossover game,
right? That's fucking.
So that would be a good time to play Alan. I've never actually played through Alan Wake. I should fucking do it. It's on Game Pass.
Is it on Game Pass?
I have it installed already. Yeah,
it's on Steam for like a couple bucks. But if it's on Game Pass, maybe I'll jump into it as well.
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, man. And Remedy games are, especially probably from the 360 generation, there's no fucking open world or nothing. I'm sure it's quick to play, right? Like, it's probably, it's like a weekend playthrough.
No Ghost of Tsushima or fucking Red Dead, GTA, all that crazy shit. Those games are like serious commitments, man.
They make you tired. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. That's why it's taking me so long to finish Red Dead, but...
So,
we could smash Alan Wake.
This fucking speaks to, like... I think it's a good illustration, I guess, more than anything else. Like, I don't really have much to say about this fucking game or this expansion at this stage, other than I think, like, you know, it's a good illustration of this concept that I employ frequently of a universe or an internal logic of a game. Like, it's not fucking what's happening now in this moment in time. It's rather this structure that they can apply not only to this event or that event, but this game and this DLC and Remedy and Alan Wake and all that shit. So I do like this. It's fucking cool. I like universe building. I like the fucking logics that fucking bleed through different works and fucking turn them into one thing. It's epic. It's like the real world, right?
Yeah, so this is right up your alley.
Yeah, it's super cool. And I fucking loved Control.
Control was sick.
Last year was such a good year for games. Such a good year. There was like, it's easy for me to say Control, Death Stranding, and fucking Sekiro are some of my favorite games of all time.
Absolutely.
Fucking easily. Without even like, you know, I think if it wasn't for the nostalgia factor of games like Final Fantasy X, like, I would definitely say those are my favorite games of all time.
Fuck yeah.
The only one that can even compete for me is like Final Fantasy X with those, you know?
It still blows my mind how under the radar Control flew, eh?
Yeah, even for us.
Yeah,
remember we played it when it came out and we're like, oh, this is all right.
Yeah, that's right.
I had no idea what that game was, you know?
We just played it for like 20 minutes.
I had no idea.
Seems pretty cool. Maybe we'll jump in another day and then we're like,
shooter,
wait a second.
But no, man, I guess it's fucking hard to market. I don't really, like, how do you communicate the concept of that game, you know?
Yeah, I think we actually did like a chunk of a video talking about how underrated it was and how it may have been difficult to market.
Yeah. I think we did. I remember that specifically because it's all weird and shit. It's about weirdness, you know. This fucking it inspired like a whole.
It without showing too much and sort of spoiling.
Even if you show it, what are people gonna? They're gonna be like, "The fuck am I looking at? You know this red shit on the screen? Like, what is that? Like,
yeah, you gotta.
But I think they did well with this game. Like I think they fucking broke even like pretty quick. They made it fucking. It was technically an independent game too, which is fucking sick.
That's right.
Oh, what a great game! What a great game! I loved it all around. So I'm psyched for this AWE thing.
That's fine.
What about Godfall though? Let's take a look now, guys. We should fucking compare what we just said about the Remedy universe to this fucking to Godfall here. So let's take a look at Godfall. All right, we'll have this playing on the screen while we're talking about it for a moment. But I just want to see some combat. You know, if you could.
All right.
Like, look at this world. What are we looking at here?
Looks like hallways and squares, to be honest. Oh, there's a circle, like a round.
It looks like Destiny Arcade Souls.
I mean, yeah.
With loot thrown in to fucking pad the shit out beyond fucking all reasonable measure, you know?
Maybe it's like the fucking quintessential, like, launch game. Like, we're going to look back on it and be like, this was extremely underwhelming, but we needed something for a launch.
Maybe we will. Now, you know, it's unfair for me to fucking judge the game at this stage based on this footage, but, like, it feels like what I'm looking at, you know, is fucking... We talked before about fucking the grammar of genre, you know, and how, like, somebody with a great idea now can resort to these sort of video game grammars, like the open world action adventure game grammar, and they have a formula all ready to express their game with, you know? And I like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I like
just
fucking the fact that it's
plug in your stuff.
Yeah, it's like an alphabet, and what matters, what takes center stage, is your fucking sick idea. I'm down for that. But like, what I'm not really down for is what I like to think of as like a formalism about genre, where you don't really have an idea. Your only idea is I want to make a game in this genre. You know? And I mean,
fair enough. Yeah.
I mean, it's totally unfair for me to make such a fucking categorical statement at this stage, but when I look at this, that's what it feels like I'm looking at, right? It feels like, you know, you don't really know what's the substance of this.
I pretty much agree with everything you're saying. It's tough to call without like playing and seeing it through, but like at the same time, this is a good 8-9 minute video, and it just doesn't really.
Like, I'm telling you, it looks like when I watched Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It looks like fucking Arcade Souls loot fucking crap.
Doesn't
like
look spectacular at all.
I think it looks kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Frankly. You know, it looks crappy in the same way that I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey is crappy. Like, Souls-like arcade fucking looter. Like, the whole purpose is just to make a fucking chunky game that you can sell people parts of and, you know.
And have them, like, sort of addicted
have them play
to
for 90 hours.
Yeah. That's why I stopped playing Neo, too.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, even Neo, why they don't sell it to you in this fucking dubious. I mean, isn't Gearbox making this?
No, remember last time we saw the trailer, it is actually being, it's definitely being published by Gearbox, but it's these counterplay games guys, whoever they are.
Cool. Well, if Gearbox is publishing it, I suspect there's going to be lots to buy.
I'm sure there certainly will be.
And honestly, that's why I haven't played the new Borderlands 2. Like, man, I think like if it was up to me, I would just fucking I would genocide loot systems from all video games. You know, I don't believe in fucking loot systems. I think they invariably make the game shittier. They add like a purely like external fucking metric of progression.
But like, what about games like? And I have to go this far back because I can't think of anything else. Like, what about a game like Diablo 2?
I think
like,
that probably.
You say that's
I think
an
I would.
Exception because
I don't think so.
The time it was, or you
I think
still
even
enjoy
games like fucking.
Because that's like universally acclaimed. That's like
no, I understand. Yeah, but even in that case, like I would prefer a system like Dark Souls. You know,
okay.
What benefit do you get from that game? Like its purpose in that game is exactly to fucking pad it out so you keep playing for another roll of the same weapon, right? Like
fair enough. Yeah, that's like the end goal, right? Is just keep you going in for numbers, I guess, right?
And some people like doing that, but true. I mean, I don't give a fuck what people like. I'm saying it's not good for the concept, right? Like, what beauty is there in that? What good is there in that? You know? Yeah, it's pure, like, mechanical, like, it's a self-satisfying loop, like masturbation, but it's not fucking good in itself, right? Like, I don't see how it serves the concept of the game, right? Yeah. Although it makes the game into something that people can play over and over and over again, which is, again, it's a separate factor.
Like, at that, for sure, but
I don't know.
I understand what you're saying, and I
not even to get rid
agree.
of numbers in games, like they have a place, but I mean your ability to perpetually manipulate them, so you can min-max it becomes the point of the game, right?
Exactly, yeah. No, it's too much.
I really like the Souls style fucking, like, personally, if it was up to me, I'd go Sekiro on everything, where you fucking upgrades are almost second nature. They just happen practically.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna fucking have it at all, do like a Souls style system where like, you know, there's determinate items. They have 10 upgrade levels. The materials are set. You know, like it's not exactly easy to upgrade your weapon to level 10. It takes a long fucking time.
Right.
But it's not like this fucking RNG fest, like fucking, you know. It progresses with your character. When you get to a certain point in the level, you can unlock the item that gives you a level 10 weapon. The game is clearly acknowledging like there's some like proportionality to this arc of your progression, right?
Yeah.
It's not like fucking, you know. Like in Bloodborne, you get that blood rock to upgrade your weapon to level 10 when you get to the Nightmare of Mensis.
When you get to the fight, yeah.
Cool. You got your level 10 weapon. Like the game is telling you now you should have a level 10 weapon, right? Like
I never thought of it that way, but you're right. Yeah, that's
what the fuck in a loot system, you know?
But to me, that's not even something new. That's something that was like done previously back in the days of like pre-internet fucking gaming. I mean, like coming back now in these games that are good games, right?
Yeah.
Like,
and I'm just trying to say, move away from RNG.
Yeah, exactly.
Have individual items, you know, named items, and that you can upgrade maybe a little bit. But this fucking messing with like, I'm gonna go for a run to get a better roll. No.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
That makes gaming into some fucking facile, useless fucking exercise. You know, I'm not into that. I had this conversation with somebody recently about games as, like, compare games to fucking books, you know? This person's perspective was that because the fucking act of playing games is so preponderant, like, because to play a game, you have to focus on the actual skill of doing so, versus reading a book where the reading is second nature. You just kind of look through it.
Right.
He's saying like it's fucking an inhibition to the artistic aspect of games. Like because the artistic aspect is looking through the fucking letters as much as the fucking... And like of course, I don't think this is absolutely true because of all of the games that I fucking could belt out to you right now that don't do that, right? But like, what fucking does encourage people to entertain this perspective is games of this nature, right? Looter games where like literally the fucking any possible like fictional justification for your actions is long since expired.
To me, like Call of Duty on a hamster wheel. That.
Yeah, me too. Fucking for sure.
Because I think Call of Duty is fucking garbage, and I'm saying like the games in the same genre space, like first person online fucking. There are. Even though they follow that same, like, it's just pretty much a skin applied in a competitive battleground. I've always found like the Battlefield games were better for a little bit longer than the Call of Duties until like Battlefield 5 came out, and now Battlefield is just as shitty, if not worse, than Call of Duty. It's probably worse this year than Call of Duty was. So, anyways, I guess I was saying that I feel like they don't always have to be shit.
I don't think they're shit, but like based on like, fucking their own definition, right? It's just shit when you try to fucking compare. Like, honestly, like it's not even possible to say absolutely it's shit.
Right.
I just mean to say from the perspective of fucking making something that's not meant to serve like it's not a sport, right? It's not there to. It's not there to fucking like. My argument here is just that, like, with the looter genre, it makes it more like a sport. It makes it so that it's not really about what you're doing as a representation. It's about the mechanical act of repeating it and playing, right? Like, in the same manner that you would play, like, a game that is more like a sport, right? Not that, I mean, not even say, like, sports shouldn't exist. Right. Like, they shouldn't exist in this sphere, like, if what we're trying to make is the games that I characterize as beautiful, like
exactly
it seems like it doesn't fucking, it makes it more that you have to focus on, you could change the fucking what the game is about and the skill could be the same, right, and that seems like then it's not really about the same thing anymore. It's about like the mechanical exercise in and of itself. It's like a sport, right?
Like you're saying in that style of game, any kind of game like that, you could just throw any skin over top. It's just like about window the exercise of like the game, or whatever, right? It doesn't.
When in a game like Death Stranding, I would argue it's the opposite, right? It doesn't matter what genre it's in. The point is what it's about, right? Whereas here, it doesn't matter what it's about. The point is playing it against other people, So it's like I guess again, I would say it's like a sport, right? You don't play a sport for meaning other than the sport. The sport's job is to be the sport, which has its place, of course, but it's not painting.
But it's not,
It would be like if somebody just focused on the technique without knowing what to paint, right?
I don't know,
the sphere of painting.
I mean, certainly us fucking doing this podcast and shit like that helped, but for a little while, man, I was fucking playing a lot of fucking Counter-Strike and shit, and I was like,
not that there's anything wrong with that, fucking sure, that's
no
cool.
But I mean, like, once we started doing this, and then I started playing more and more, like, focusing more time on those games so we'd be able to talk about them, like it like naturally took over.
I think that fucking tends to happen, man. Like, I think there's this sense that these are like fucking deep and murky waters, but there's this like cultural sensation that people need to be in a state of like fucking tendency, like moving all the time, like I don't see people fucking, again, I'm just generalizing, but I don't see fucking our generation like sit down at a table and just drink and talk. They're like, let's go fucking axe throwing. Let's go to like X, Y, or Z.
Yeah,
let's go do some shit.
When did that all
like,
of a sudden happen? Yeah. It's got to be, you have to be doing something.
This perpetual tendency to be fucking moving, So I think like two things. People don't know that there's anything else. One, they don't know that really there's any sort of fucking, ability to look past what's right in front of you and see that it represents something else. It's probably why people don't read fucking novels either nowadays, right? Like, but on top of that, it's hard. It's hard. It takes something from you. It's demanding, right? It fucking says, I don't give a shit if you're having fun. You sit there and you fucking get through it, right? It's not like, well, this is really, it's about like, let's balance it so everyone's enjoying themselves. Like, that's what's great about a game like Hellpoint. It's like, I don't give a fuck if you're having fun. What do you think this is? You're having fun. Like,
I mean, Sekiro definitely, and Dark Souls, any of those games don't care about that.
That's why when you fucking have those moments when it clicks and you fucking triumph over a particularly fucking challenging obstacle, one that is not separable from the concept. You're not like, no, I wasn't fighting Sword Saint Ishin. I was just moving some buttons. Like, it's not. Those are not separable concepts. And also that fucking dopamine explosion, like you just fucking did 15 rails of coke all at once, is unparalleled. I promise you, Fortnite's not that much fun.
Oh man, I feel like a lot of it too is the social aspect, where people like want to be like constantly, playing games with their buds and talking to them in chats, and like I don't mind that, but like a lot of times too, I get home and I want to fucking like, you know, turn my phone off and like maybe like, what's it called? Dissolve it in a fucking bag of acid. You don't want to be fucking, I never want to like see it again. So like, in that sense, you disconnect and fucking play something that's not a social experiment, not have to always be, you know.
Yeah. I think it takes away from the fucking thing itself if its whole purpose is to facilitate you interacting with someone anyways.
That's exactly Fortnite.
It cheapens
that's why
it,
it's
right?
shit.
Like, that's why it's shit.
I mean, that's not why it's
for
shit,
concert halls and fucking artists.
One of its
anyway. Shit. But
right on.
Fuck, man. I guess related to a lot of the stuff we've been talking about, though. Is there anything else you want to mention about this state of play?
I think we should probably cut off there. We're fucking like flying way out there.
Yeah, we're fucking off into the stratosphere, but
it's kind of cool. But anyway,
I think an interesting fucking tangent too. Another thing that appeared in the news this week was an interview with Rafael Colantonio of previously fucking Arcane Studios. Yeah. He left to fucking, I think, start a new studio and work on a game called Weird West or something. And fuck, I wish him the best. Cool sounding dude. But like his interview today that I found today in PC Magazine, I was like fucking a little bit head scratching, you know? Like the guys, just to fucking set up like this conversation. Remember all the shit we were just saying about Activision and the mastery of the business problem and how Miyazaki was able to take this money and fucking both satisfy investor desire and also make a great game. So this guy's fucking saying, you know, AAA design, you're no longer making fucking a game or you're making a product, right? Like it's fucking, this interview was I'm not even going to quote it. The essential fucking sense of the interview was, I left AAA game design because when you're in AAA game design, you fucking are deadly fucking concerned about not making your fucking profit or not making your investment back. Mm-hmm. It's fucking constant stress. It's fucking
so you're not making art. I think he said not making.
Yeah, a number of different. I guess he's trying to say on the one hand, your fucking art is constrained by commercial concerns,
product, right?
Yeah. On the other hand, you're always on a fucking clock and you're always in debt. You know, like all of these different fucking. And I think like. You know, I bring this up just to fucking juxtapose it to this Sekiro situation and say, fucking, firstly, if you're a fucking epic artist, then you can master any fucking shit condition and turn it into a fucking great opportunity for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
Like Dante Alighieri wrote about fucking people who were alive in his time, and it's not like his work was any less artistic for it, right? Like he served people, you know? Like Michelangelo painted the Sistine Chapel, right? Like he was working for somebody, right? You're trying to say, oh, fuck, that guy can't do a good job because he's employed. Like, no, man. It doesn't work that way, right? Like, certainly the constraints are fucking heavier, like the burden is heavier, it must be shit, but then it sounds like what you're saying is, you know, making something fucking with somebody else's shit ton of money is difficult and fucking stressful, which is all what we rather expected anyways, right? Like,
yeah, of course. And that's the thing. I find like a lot of what he's saying probably is true and makes sense, but there's a lot of evidence out there, obviously throughout all of human history, that say he's wrong, right?
I think it suffices in response to this fucking whole interview to just say, on the one hand, if you're a great artist and if you're fucking smart, you can master any conditions and turn them to your benefit. You know,
yeah,
you can master the business problem, right? You can use that to your benefit. Use it. You can satisfy the business problem and use the fruits of it to fucking make better art, you know? And on the other hand, you saying it's fucking hard to make something beautiful? Like, who gives a fuck? I don't care about your hard life. I'm sorry. Like, I just don't care any more than these people talking about crunch, buddy. Like, you have to sacrifice to do something good. I don't, you know, like, you don't have good work-life balance. Like, you fucking.
Sometimes I have to sacrifice my time to work late, and we're not even making anything beautiful.
At the end of the day, dude, I just don't care about people and their stupid lives. Like, I know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like, you're saying, well, I have to stay late at work, therefore people shouldn't make AAA games. Like, is that really your argument? Is that really your argument? I'm sure there's people who would literally fucking burn their houses to the ground for the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah. Probably you.
Yeah, right? Like, what a joke. People are fucking idiots.
Offered you a AAA game.
Oh,
your own idea, but you have to burn down your house.
I don't know. I mean, would they buy me a new one?
They'll probably have to, house you somewhere.
I just want to fucking write the game and then give it to somebody and watch it happen, you know? The only contractual clause is you can't change a fucking thing. The rest is up to you. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that was my sense from this, you know? It seems that The argument is if you're fucking working in these conditions, something has to give eventually. And I guess at a practical level, that's true. But to me, like, you're saying it's shit to work on something good. Like, no doubt, but I don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean it's not worth doing. It just means that your life is going to be shit if you're going to work on something good.
Yeah.
And that to have a fucking mediocre, happy life probably means you're not working on anything good, right? Like, that's everybody knew that too. Go work at the bank if you want an easy fucking life. I don't know. What do you want from me, man? Like, but I'd rather play another fucking Dishonored, I guess, right? Like,
okay,
that's the sense I get
it's
from
weird
that.
for him to be saying that. I mean, like, his AAA game, it's not like he had a bad AAA game that like burned a studio or anything.
No, I think though Dishonored 2 was not successful.
Really?
Yeah.
Or maybe not considered.
And Prey 2 was not successful. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They were not financially successful, that is. They were good games though. They were beautiful games.
See,
but
Prey always stuck out to me as like almost in the same vein as like Control would be, something like a little bit under the radar. But
I think it had a pile of money behind
Control was probably more successful.
Yeah.
But
I don't know exactly the fucking circumstances behind it, but I know he left some time after that and started his own studio, and like it makes sense for me to somebody to say like I don't want to work within the creative confines of AAA. That sounds good, but like to make it seem like this either or situation.
No, I mean, and that's the thing too. Over time, like let's say you're right, and or I'm sure you are about Dishonored 2 being considered not
financial
very
failure,
successful or financial failure. It's even worse. Maybe because of that, things changed in the studio, and they sort of tried to strip away a little bit of that freedom and said, hey, like, we need to kind of recuperate,
We'll see with this Deathmark game coming out or whatever. What's it called? Death... that arcane game they announced at E3 last year.
Oh, Deathloop. Honestly, it looks sick.
Yeah, it does look pretty cool. Fuck, it looks like an arcane game, that's for sure.
Yeah,
so we'll see. And I don't even mind if they move away from the immersive sim elements and like, fucking, I don't think, again, like if accessibility, like, which I'm opposed to if it means compromising your fucking work for the sake of somebody else. But if it instead means paring back on fucking abstruse, unnecessary shit, I'm fucking super down for that, man.
Hell yeah.
I loved fucking, again, to compare Sekiro's to the previous games, like, man, the upgrade system, everything about it was better. I don't want to fucking change weapons. I don't want to fucking worry about none of that shit. I just want to fucking go through the game,
It's true. It almost feels like the Souls formula, like, slightly streamlined, right?
It feels like you distilled it into a fucking fine liquor,
That's a better way of putting it.
It just fucks you right up. You don't have to fucking drink 50 of them. Right?
Yeah. Just one.
Yeah. Good shit.
Sick.
That was Rafael Colantonio. And I don't know, there's a couple of other fucking things this week, but I mean, we could talk about how fucking they announced the Xbox Series S. What do you think of that, man?
I don't know. That to me, like, I think I've said this before on this channel, but like, it's like, to me, that doesn't fucking, like, cool, you want to do that, that's great. Put out your cheaper console for, I don't know, whoever doesn't want to buy a Series X, but also wants to maybe buy their fucking, maybe I can even see it for like kids or whoever, whatever. I don't know. Anyway, the point is, nobody actually gives a shit about this thing. It's just there to serve some kind of lower functionality or some fucking, like everyone
hit a niche. Like,
gives
what do you want to do
about video games wants to know about PS5 and Series X. You know what I mean? Like, nobody cares about the Series S unless you're buying one for your fucking
maybe they're
nephew
thinking
or some
like
shit,
we want to be like
you,
the Wii. We want to like fucking.
Maybe if they want to try and inhabit that like casual space where like everybody and their grandmother will buy one just to have, but like that'll never happen again. That was like a Nintendo finding like lightning in a bottle at the right time.
Yeah, I guess so.
And then having the right software, Wii Sports and everything. That was so like.
I
find it hard to believe that will ever happen again. And it doesn't seem like they're actually going that direction unless they show fucking Xbox fucking.
No, it seems like they're going for the guy
like,
who wants to play games that they have on Games Pass, which are like Carrion and Gears and shit. What the fuck, grandmas want to? Yeah, that's not casual games. I just don't think there is an untapped market for that doesn't exist already.
There definitely isn't. Like, I think it'll sell. I mean, obviously, someone will fucking buy it. But again, it's like
the Series, this Xbox stuff didn't sell.
Which one?
The one that they discontinued. That stupid fucking most powerful one.
Oh, the One X.
Yeah,
it didn't sell that well. Yeah, and they even had the One S.
Yeah,
which is exactly the same as this. They just threw the word Series in the middle of it, so it's Xbox Series X and Series S, which I think is stupid, but whatever. Microsoft can
imagine
name
being the
things
fucking poor
schmuck
schmuck at GameStop who's got to sell that to some grandma. Eh?
Right?
Do you want the Xbox One X or the Xbox Series S?
Yeah,
or the X,
or the Series X, or the Series S. Like, fucking option. No, they discontinued the One X now though. So like, and I think they stopped manufacturing the One line because they're gonna switch over to the S and the Series S and Series X. But again, yeah, like no one gives a fuck. Aside from like some idiot writing an article on Forbes and probably Polygon, because I'm sure Microsoft owns them, saying that like, oh, this is a great move for Microsoft. Good job, guys. Like, what are the actual reasons? Like, who the fuck cares about a Series S? Again, if somebody wants a budget fucking gaming console, sure, there it is. But like, nobody gives a fuck about it. Like, I want to see more of the PS5. I want to see if they have anything on the Series X, you know? Like,
I don't know, man. I feel like what market is that?
I have no idea.
The guy who can fucking afford $300 but not $100.
I think it
you know?
literally fucking is like people who don't know shit about video games buying something for like
somebody
their kid
else
or like their nephew. Like,
yeah,
I know that's a dumb like specific thing.
They're fucking. You know who their target audience is? Their target audience is that guy. He goes to Best Buy with his wife, and his wife is like, "Honey, we're gonna get my nephew the PS4."
Yeah. And
he's like, the PS5. He's like, no. What's the cheapest one you got?
This one's only $199. That thing's $499. No.
That's their target audience.
And the kid's like, oh, great.
Yeah, the Series X.
Is awesome.
Got those games from fucking 10 years ago. It's epic.
You know what they're probably doing? They're like fucking taking all the remaining Xbox Ones and like sawing the motherboard in half and stacking it on it so it's a cube and fucking not that that's possible.
They're just taping two of them together inside and be like, here you go.
Like, well, it's basically an Xbox One X, but we stacked the motherboard.
Xbox is like a teenager experimenting with its sexuality. Eh? It's like, I don't know what I want to be yet. I'm gonna try this week. It didn't work. Xbox is like, you know, it's a good fucking. You know when you used to go to the weddings when you were a kid and you would get like all the stuff on the table and mix it into a cup with the other kids?
We did that so much.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, somebody drink it.
We'll put a fucking glass in there.
That's Xbox. They're like, I don't know what it is, but somebody will drink it.
Yeah. We made somebody have a good time.
This is America.
Right?
If we just have Aaron Greenberg like, enough. Fucking
gonna give it to you, baby.
I like that guy's attitude.
See, like the last couple of fucking podcasts, we were like pretty positive on Microsoft. Now we're right back to shitting on their third.
I still want to play the games that they're publishing,
Yeah,
but
fuck.
their branding is annoying as all fucking tits to me.
You know what's crazy? So like this year we're getting 4 consoles. Then we're getting PS5 Digital Edition. Can we distinctly call that 2 consoles? Xbox. Okay, maybe 3.
I guess.
Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S.
It sounds like 4 consoles, doesn't it? Man,
What
I'm
a
too old
joke.
for this shit.
Yeah.
Just make a fucking what is corner the market? Wouldn't it be to everybody's, including their own benefit, to just make one?
Hold on,
You know?
though. Probably, and that's usually the case. And this is really one of the first times it's different. But who do you think has the better strategy?
Definitely not. I don't
Because
like
like if you think about it,
Microsoft's
PS5
strategy.
like will probably be, and the Xbox Series X will be expensive. Let's say $500-$600, whatever.
I don't think that's a problem. We're dealing in luxury electronics, buddy.
I know.
You kidding me?
That's the thing, right?
It's like saying, well, the problem with the Ferrari is that it's expensive. Yeah, it's fucking.
Yeah, it's Ferrari.
I mean, okay.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's not that. Like again, I'm talking from the perspective of somebody in Canada. You know, if you work a minimum wage job, you can afford an Xbox. If you have disposable income for left at all, you can save enough of it to
That's
buy.
true. And then I guess,
and you can save enough to buy. Excuse me. To finish that thought. If you work a minimum wage job and you can save enough to buy one of those consoles, it's fucking ridiculous to say you can't save the extra $50 for the other. What the fuck kind of circumstances? I just can't wait the other 2 weeks for that fucking
right?
next. It seems so fucking to me, it doesn't make any sense. I don't think that's a good strategy at all. I would just fucking say, this is the system. You fucking buy it or you don't. There's not many other options.
Yeah.
You know, maybe if they were the competition and they had a fucking product people wanted, they would be able to do that. But I don't know. Again, though, like, who's this for, buddy? Does that demographic exist?
But then, like, how do you feel about Sony making 2 versions, just one with a disk drive? I know you don't give a fuck. Like, I know you actually don't give a fuck, but
I wouldn't do it. But like, I mean, I wouldn't do it because I don't like that kind of media. Maybe there are people who would prefer it that way, right?
Yeah.
I don't doubt that the industry will move. Like, the mainstream will be digital. You know, so
yeah.
I don't like it, but that's the way she goes. But I'm happy maybe that they would make a fucking one with a disk drive at all, you know? Having acknowledged that. I hope that, like, again, my vision for the fucking future, a perfect one would be where we pay more to get physical fucking versions of things.
Yeah.
Happily, right? Like, I don't give a fuck,
just
you know?
either they make less of them to meet the
Or just make
demand
them on
that is
demand,
less,
right?
or like, yeah, you said
Print
make
on
them
demand,
on
yeah.
demand, yeah. It'll be interesting to see where we go, but I think we've seen in the past enough that, you know, there's going to be physical media around for a while. Like,
think so.
if you look at other industries like the music industry with vinyl coming back and shit like that,
yeah.
right?
I think that's the role it's going to satisfy eventually.
Yeah.
I guess I'm trying to say, like, a niche but not fucking insignificant role, right?
But like the crazy thing is, like, it has an actual difference in terms of maybe not. I'm thinking like, no, I lost my. Never mind. I should just cut it. Sorry.
It's all good.
I was gonna say, you know, there's a fucking like rendering on your thing. If it's a digital game, it still renders on your box. So it's confusing with streaming. How you?
I feel you.
Anyways.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know how it is.
For sure. But there's like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's beautiful having physical media. Not to mention that it has to be stored somewhere. It's not like the data lives nowhere, right? Can't keep up with fucking video game sizes these days on hard drives. I don't know, man. That's pretty much all I got for today, though. Fucking
I think we shat out quite a bit.
Yeah,
Had
it
about
was
an hour.
chundering storm of content. It's beautiful.
So great.
What would you say we cut her off?
Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this week.
It's been a wonderful fucking hangout, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Talking about all kinds of shit about fucking weird people's opinions, too much money, and fucking not enough work ethic, apparently.
Yeah.
It's an asshole thing to say. No, but honestly, like, I need to reiterate, like, I just don't fucking... When I hear people complain about things like crunch and, like, the fucking... You know... the working climate of the video game industry, it sounds like... What are you trying to say, man?
Yeah.
Like,
Stop making good games because some people have to work overtime.
yeah. Work
Like,
overtime. Like some kid in Syria right now is fucking making your t-shirt, you bitch. You know what I mean?
And he's not getting paid for overtime.
That's the fucking ironic part. This guy sitting here complaining is probably literally wearing fucking the fruits of sweatshop labor. Like, he has the fucking gall to sit there and bitch, you know, from his fucking air-conditioned desk in California. Yeah, I just don't sympathize.
California.
Yeah, it is always California. Symbolically, if not actually, you know? Yeah. Good times.
Well, if you made it this far, thank you very much.
It's been a fucking blast, and I hope you guys have an excellent week. Keep up with your video games, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.